Well, hello there. I hope this finds you well. And it's midweek again. Midweek mindfulness comes into play. And I think today I want to talk a little bit about what's happened in the UK now. We've lifted some of our restrictions and non-essentials have gone back to work, including myself. And I think that it's time that we can have a little reflection on what the lockdown has brought us, but also as a midweek mindfulness thing, what I would like to put into practice is the word boundaries. Now, what I've noticed is there's two types of people that have come out of this last 12 months. One is a very conscious awareness of people's personal space and the fact that we are still wearing masks and keeping our distance and trying to be aware of how other people may react and respond to this pandemic, and give them think about their boundaries and that we're not crossing over people's personal spaces and we're not trying to step into people's areas, and we're in queues, we keep our distance and all those sort of things. I really believe that that's one individual, and then the second individual is the person that has no idea that anybody else lives here on planet Earth, and that person or those people have come out of lockdown or were like that before, and I think we are just more conscious of those people because there's other people who have boundaries. And those people are stepping into other people's personal space to grab their milk and their biscuits and to stand behind them in queues, breathing on the back of their heads and tutting and sighing when there's more than one person waiting outside a supermarket. They're the people that when you walk down the street, they can't walk in single file to pass you. If they're with somebody else, they have to walk together side by side the whole time. They can't possibly walk behind or in front of each other, which makes you then walk in to a road to give them a little bit of space. Those people, I think, need to learn maybe a few boundaries. But I think those of us that are aware that we need to still allow a bit of space with each other. We need to also recognise that those people, I don't believe are doing it consciously. I think it's a subconscious thing. I think they're just, if you're a little bit bombastic in your nature, and you're not maybe as compassionate as you could be, and you're not really tuned in and switched on to the awareness of other people, then, that's just where they are. And rather than feeling disgruntled and upset about it, I think as a midweek thing, I'm going to make it a conscious thing that for the rest of this week, especially the rest of this week, as we've, the shops have just opened and things, and there's more people about, just being aware of my boundaries and keeping them stronger, so that regardless of whether somebody else is maybe not showing the compassion and respect that maybe they could do, I am. And I'm going to do it with a compassionate sensibility, in that I am going to make sure that I don't tut and sigh and moan about the people aforementioned. I'm going to show them a little bit more compassion, perhaps, and see how that makes them feel. See if they benefit from that in some way. So, you know, we're not here to try and change anybody else. Let's just make sure, the only thing that, you know, we can't change other people, but we can change ourselves, and we can change the way that we respond to the other people in our communities and spaces. So rather than, you know, going to queue outside Primark for 3 hours because you want to have a look at some clothing, and there's been people all around you and they're a bit too close to you and they're in your personal space, you know, rather than us tutting and sighing about that, maybe we need to be aware that, well, maybe one, do we need to be there in the first place? But, you know, secondly, you know, maybe those people just, they're up in their heads and they've got so much going on. Maybe they're just not aware of us, others on the planet. So that's my midweek mindfulness practice, compassion. I hope you stay well. Enjoy the rest of the week. Ta-ta for now, my loves.